This is Nero. He is a 15-hand high skee ball cob cross who has just turned 12, but he doesn't act it. We used to do a lot of fun stuff and competitions before his deep digital flexor tendon injury. Since then, he hasn't been good with groundwork, so we just hack out and pull funny faces. The aim of this training program is to get Nero to lunge with respect to the handler by following a program and the objectives shown. But why this aim? This is why. Every time you try and lunge him, he'll run off and get tangled up on purpose, making it impossible to exercise him in this way. Firstly, initial assessment was completed. The static assessment was assessed, followed by the dynamic assessment. As you can see here and here, he is twisting his feet and his forelimbs are camped under. Also his poor core strength here, which is affecting his back posture here. In the caudal view, he is pigeon-toed here, and his left tubercocci is dropped here, but this could be because of the left hind being slightly more forward, as shown. In the walk, he is tracking up nicely, although this could be because of the prolonged retraction phase in the forelimbs, as the hind limbs are restricted in protraction and retraction, which also presents itself in the restricted movement in the lumbosacral area. Now, in the trot, he looks very slightly lame in the right fore, but if the video is slowed down, you can see it is the right hind short retraction phase which is causing the right fore to compensate, which is more prominent when the shot is even slower. With the first session, I took him into the arena with just a head collar and a lead rope. The idea was to get him to move backwards on command. By getting control of him moving his feet, I gained respect. He ran off before we got into the arena, he rolled quite soon after starting the session, and he ran off once we got out of the arena. He did a couple of good steps back, but it took a lot of pressure to cause a reaction, as shown. It was decided that we needed a smaller space to work in so he could concentrate on me and had no chance to run off. The second session took place in his stable. This worked well for him as he was focused on me and didn't have a chance to run off. I used clicker trading with herbal treats as a reward as he is very food orientated, and I used voice commands such as back and come here. I also used my hands to ask him to stay where he was. As seen, it took a handful of tries for him to understand what I was asking of him, but he's a quick learner and so got the hang of it quickly. He started to recognise that the clicker meant a treat and so was more willing to do as asked. The last clip was the best he had performed, so I ended the session there to ensure a good impression lasted. Different therapeutic interventions, such as a TENS machine, was used between the sessions. The TENS machine sends electrical impulses to the affected area. The electrical impulses can reduce the pain signals going to the spinal cord and brain, which may help relieve pain and relax muscles. They may also stimulate the production of endorphins, which are the body's natural painkillers. As Nero has a tight rhomboid cervicus, the pads were placed on the targeted muscle and the intensity was set to 8. As you can see, he was very relaxed during the session. Chiropractic treatment was another therapeutic intervention used. After assessing the static and dynamic evaluation, I decided that he needed manipulation. 2 sessions were completed during the training program, in which case his pelvis was the main bony structure that needed manipulation. Homework was given to me between the 2 sessions, which meant that less manipulation was needed in the second session. The saddle was refitted before any ridden work was performed. The plate was changed from a medium to a medium wide, allowing more room for shoulder movement and muscle development, making riding a more comfortable experience for Nero. The fit of a saddle is very important when any ridden work is taking place, as an ill-fitted saddle could cause discomfort and pain, in turn affected the horse's overall behaviour. The fitness of a horse can also have an effect on its behaviour. For this reason, ridden work was implemented into Nero's training programme. In this ridden session, I concentrated on disengaging Nero's fore and hind quarters. As he still doesn't have enough respect on the ground, it was best to complete this part of the training programme riding him. I rode Nero in a square. At every corner I halted, disengaged his hind or fore, and then asked for either a walk or trot transition. This really got him listening to my aids and concentrating on his work. Join up is a technique that Monty Roberts used to mirror the horse's natural responses. By getting them to run in a circle around you, you are getting them to move their feet when you want and where you want until certain submission signs are presented, such as licking and chewing and locking the inside ear onto the handler. The horse then gets the option to continue to flee or to respect the handler as the leader and join up. This exercise is for bonding with the horse using a language he understands. This is the first time I attempted to lunge Nero since the beginning of the programme. After the join-up session, I put the long line through the bit and clipped it onto the roller. I also used a side rein on the outside to give him support on the circle. I only asked for walk and trot transitions, but he did not attempt to run away. He was good as gold. After all of the training sessions had been completed, I decided to give him a field trip to see if he would behave in a different environment. I lunged him with one line through the bit and looped over his head and clipped onto the other side of the bit. I also set out a labyrinth for using poles to see if he would really listen to me and remembered what we had previously learnt. The whole day was a big success with only one roll at the beginning of the session.
Come. Walk him on. Go on. He's eating it. Go on. Push him forward. Oh, that's backwards. Bring him round. Good boy. Clever. Do it again. Ask him out as if you were going to lunge. If not, if he doesn't get what you're asking. There we go. Clever boy. It just goes over it. Okay. Doesn't matter. Go round it now. Round. Oh, okay. Woohoo! Did it!
The training program was a success, and now Nero is capable of lunging, respecting the handler. The reasons that the way I performed things the way they were performed was influenced by different professional trainers and the people around me. The reasons why I performed some of the things in this program was influenced by the picture from AJ Sports and Equine Therapy. It is important not to jump to conclusions and spend the time eliminating factors one by one and getting to know your horse.